Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Hope you're having an enjoyable Sunday afternoon. Today I want to talk to you about the Democrats and their debates they had during last week. And let's get it started. Hi everybody. So I want to talk a little bit about the Democrats and their debate. And I didn't get a chance to watch it. I've caught bits and pieces of everything, but what really has me worried is Kamala Harris and some of the other Democrats actually want to raise taxes on the middle class and force workers into unions. So, this is a town hall columnist where I'm getting this from, but I heard some of the same thing that insisted that 2017 tax reform law must be repealed in its entirety. Just in case there's any ambiguity on this point, she repeated her post a second time during the Washington Post. Um, Harris wasn't alone. Says nearly every Democratic opponent has vowed to roll back the tax plan in 2017. There's mixed. For me, it's worked out well for having the taxes lowered. I haven't had to work all the overtime. I've went from working 50 to 60 hours a week down to maybe 45 hours, 46 hours. Sometimes less than that. It's never less than 40. But and I'm able to uh enjoy time off, have my weekends off, which I really love to do. I like having my weekends off. I don't like working weekends. And since Trump is tax plan, I haven't had to work all the overtime that I was working in years past. So for them to do this, it's gonna hurt me because now I'm gonna have to work more overtime. You know, and my bills have pretty much remained the same except for my mortgage, which depends on how high my homeowner's insurance is, and my property taxes. Is my biggest problem. And now they want to take away the tax plan, and now I'm gonna have to go back to working 50 or 60 hours a week if they get power. They're uh, phrasing it's a giveaway to the the rich and the corporations. But how many people have seen a benefit? I mean, yeah, sure, I didn't get as much back as what I did in taxes last year, but like I said, I've been able to work less overtime. So the money that which I would have paid into the taxes, I'm actually, I didn't have to pay all that in there. So you know, I don't know, and pretending that it screws over middle income working class, but they don't. A lot of us haven't had to work all the overtime that they've managed to conceive. Most Americans that did not receive a tax cut in 2018, the data shows that 80% of the country did in fact receive a tax cut, including 90% of the middle class. They're doing a propaganda that has been effective, but it's also come with a downside because their politicians, as their base, seem to be internalizing sweeping falsehood as reality, and the vulnerability of point attacks over ideas like Harris push to repeal it. Said a lot of us did. A lot of us did see it, and you want to now all of a sudden you want to raise that up for nearly every medical. Reversing a GOP law passed would result in significant tax increase for nearly every middle class family in America. Many voters are confused by the ambivalent on the impact tax reform had on their personal finance. Their minds will focus rather if and when Democrats try to take away their tax cuts, though they've received in which they have benefited. Many learned over again that it's hard to rescind benefits or policy advantage once they have been implemented and raise taxes on virtually all middle class income families and earners. It's politically toxic, yet precisely that's what Harris is proposing. Of course, massive tax increases on working Americans is an inevitable consequence of her wildly fantastic agenda. For a cheap attack about tax giveaways, corporations remember that reducing corporate tax rate was so badly needed that even President Obama supported it, albeit at a different level. The new law brought corporate rate in alignment with approximate OECD average, down from one of the very highest in the industrial world. The level of competitiveness helped fuel a strong economy and featuring historic low employment, of 3.2. Surprised experts who expected a slower expansion, correlation, causation, not synonymous. When this tax cut hit my company that I work for, gave no less than $1 raise an hour. And for some other people, they got pretty close to about a $2 raise. All said and done, when we got our, they gave us a raise at the beginning of the year, and then we do a merit increase. Basically, you fill out all the stuff that you've done during the year, and then they give us another one. And that year, the first year of the tax cuts, I got over a $2 an hour raise. Some people in my company actually got over a $3 an hour raise. And I know that's not the norm, but a lot of companies did this. A lot of companies gave out bonuses and everything else, and now you want to take this away from people. That just, to me, that doesn't make sense. Now, I think they should have, put other stipulations in for corporations to actually get the full tax incentive. But Democrats were unwilling to work with anybody to get anything done, Democrats like Harris would not only roll back middle-class benefits by raising their taxes, they're going to undo the policy progress that has led to a robust employment and GDP growth. You'll leave with Harris explaining that she'd like to turn back the clock by banning right-to-work laws, which grant right workers the freedom to be hired without union membership and precondition for employment. I've worked with a union. I didn't like working in a union. I didn't like that they took money out of my check each month and I didn't get anything for it because I was a good employee, and I didn't like somebody else getting, basically getting free money off money that I'd worked hard for. Does that mean that I don't think unions should exist? Certain unions I think should exist. But you should also be given a choice whether you want to join that union or not. I, for one, didn't want to join a union. I didn't like it because I didn't like them taking money out of my pocket. Many workers have voted with their feet, choosing their own self-interest over partisan interests of union bosses. This has harmed unions, of course, so Democrats want to go backwards and remove safeguards against coercion in their big labor politics allies, the anti-choice party, except when it comes to third trimester abortion radicalism. So yeah, she wants to take away the tax cuts and stuff like that. And I'm worried because of the Democrats. I think the Democrats are going to do this. If they get into the presidency or they get control of the House and Senate and presidency, we're screwed. I don't agree with a lot of their politics. They're so far left of me that it's not funny. I want people back in the center, that actually use common sense and not just, meander to who they think they can get the votes out of. But they also, run left on the immigration debate. Features vows health care for all undocumented. How can you give health care free to anybody that's in this country that hasn't paid anything into it? And I believe I saw something, and I'll have to look later and see, but there was actually like AOC admitted there was like a $21 trillion accounting error, which would leave basically only 60% of Americans would be covered with their health plan that they're talking about a single payer health care. That's going to break everybody. I mean, I don't think, nobody's discussed how much taxes would go up to do their health care. But, our resources are finite, it's not infinite. And if you say, oh, yeah, we're going to make healthcare free to anybody that comes crossing our borders, how are we going to support that? Do you think the millionaires and billionaires are going to do this? No, they're going to say, see you later, guy. They're just going to, if they see that, hey, some of their plans was making them pay 70% on, their 10 millionth in $1. If somebody's seeing that and they're going, well, what are you gonna do? The rich, are basically, all the rich are gonna do is they're gonna say, you know what, peace out. They're gonna go to another country. They're gonna get with a country and say, hey, how much is it to get me a citizenship? I'll move my businesses. Some key positions that if my employees want to come with me, I'm gonna take them, bring them with me. What can we do for them for citizenship? And everybody else, we're just gonna hire from your country. What kind of discounts are you gonna get for me to build my factory over there, or whatever business? And I don't think Democrats realize that you're not gonna force somebody to do that. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna go down to the next year. Well, the $10 million didn't work, so now anything over 5 million, we're gonna charge that. Well, then they're gonna leave. Then finally, you're gonna get stuck with the people that can't afford to leave that, and they're gonna be paying all these in taxes. And here, Thursday's convention immigration proposals marks a shift further left to the party, promising health care for illegal immigration, no deportations for those whose only offense is being undocumented, and decriminalization of the border. So what? So we're going to be a nation without a border? You can come and go as you please? I don't understand that. Who make up, nearly striking, in a striking moment, NBC anchor Savannah Guthrie asked candidates who make up roughly half of the 2020 candidates about their Democratic nomination if their universal health care plans to include undocumented workers. Every candidate on their hand raises their stage, from President Joe Biden, Senator Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders. Such a policy plank isn't entirely unusual for Democrats. The image candidates raising their hands, going on the record position, once seen as radical, fueled by Republican arguments that the primaries could produce a candidate with limited national appeal. All Democrats raised their hand, giving millions of illegal aliens unlimited health care, he tweeted. How about taking care of American citizens first? And I did a video on this about our veterans. They all raised their hands. They're going to bankrupt this country. If any of you liberals and Democrats don't believe it, just take a look at Venezuela. Venezuela did probably pretty close to the same exact thing. And you've got these guys doing this. And if they get elected, we're going down the proverbial shit creek. We are done. We will not be able to afford this, and then we're going to be screwed. Wow. This is just they're trying to get us to go all full-blown socialism, and socialism does not work. It doesn't work. And then for all you people are going to say, well, it works in Denmark and Sweden, and they're not socialist. They're a market-free economy, and who pays most of our taxes? The working people. They're paying like 60% in taxes. And they don't have a lot of home ownership, and you get hit with I've heard 180% luxury tax on cars and stuff. So if you want that little Toyota that you've been eyeing that's only $18,000, be prepared to pay 180% more for that car. Because the corporations ain't going to pay that much. They're just going to say, see you later. Just like that song, was it Skater Boy? See you later, boy. That's what they're going to do. They're just going to say, adios. We're done. Peace out. So I don't... First they want to raise taxes, and now they just want to give everything away for free. And that's their selling point. It's free. It's not free. Our taxes are going to pay for everything from, they want us to pay college. College should be free. Now they wanted to get rid of everybody's student debt that's got student loan debts. Say, oh yeah, we're just going to make it free and we're going to cover all this. Well, who's going to cover it? I am. You are. Every taxpayer is going to cover that. And I'm sorry, I don't have any kids. Why should I pay for some other kid's college tuition? That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to me, myself, and I. If I had a kid, then it would be my responsibility to help my kid pay for their college. You don't have to go to college. You can go to trade schools, which are considerably less. You can go to a community college and get most of your degree done there. And then if it's something that you know you need to go further on, then you go from there. You know, I bought my house. I signed on the contract saying, hey, I'll pay my mortgage off. Where's my help? If you're going to forgive everybody's student debt, well, how about you forgive every homeowner's mortgage debt? Wipe it out, pay it for us. You know, that'll give us more disposable income that we can help pay for what you want to pay for. But this is just insane that they want to give free health care like money's growing on trees. You know, we're on our road to socialism, and then I hope not, but you know, I'm flabbergasted that people, you know, actually were cheering on and clapping for this. Only Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado did not raise his hand. Former Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper hesitated while Biden asked to clarify, but then said that the first thing would do is unite families and surge billions of dollars worth of help to the region immediately. We don't have billions. We're how many trillions in dollars in debt? We don't have it. So you just guys want to continue to spend our money like we're freaking Daddy Warbucks, and you guys can spend our money, you know, like it's going out of style. Stop spending the money. Then maybe, you know, all these social programs that you want to enact, once you get our debt down and figure out what's going on, maybe then we'll have, you know, extra money. I said, how about these senators? How about, you know, you do away with your pensions and you go like to what the average worker pays, you know, in a 401k. How about, you know, your health insurance? Your health insurance gets taken away and you have to do what the American public have to do, which is get your insurance through your employer, and you have to pay for some of that. How about that? You know, you know, these Democrats, you know, and Republicans aren't as bad as any much better, but at least they're not talking about giving, you know, give out money free. All this is free, free, free. And then when Bernie was called on, well, it's free at the point of use. It's not free. Then that's not free. Free means I don't have to pay for it. But with, you know, taxes, and then you want to give everybody that comes in this country free health care. How are we going to pay for it? How much are our taxes going to go up because of this? Are we going to be paying, you know, 70, 80% on taxes? You know, 100%? You know, what's the deal, you know? When does it stop? You know, I just sorry for ranting, guys. You know, if you think I'm absolutely wrong on this and you have a different way of seeing things, you know, let me know. But if you're on my boat and you're like, what is going on here? We're in trouble. Give it a like, share, all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you later, guys. Later.